Old Sarge Finkel here, member of Supreme Soviet. The other members of Supreme Soviet are just Muckster, Ariel, Killing Time, and other members of the Politburo. Actually, I forget all who. I think Stephanie's one. I think Danny's one. This is a dictatorship. This is a socialist dictatorship. Sometimes the Supreme Soviet does not meet all four members, but I saw another member of the Supreme Soviet. Yes, Stephanie does have a wrench. Hello, Stephanie. Gospodanya? I don't know. Anyway, I ramble, I shamble, and I saw that Muckster had a live not too long ago. By the way, I've clicked on the editor and I've tried to shorten the period where he's silence. Do we like him better silent? The reviews are mixed on that. There he is. Okay. I am going to pull that up, and I mostly agree with him. But because we are the Supreme Soviet, I'm not going to undermine him. I see Wingspan Angel's another one. I forgot all his wrenches. Vegas Vips does not have a wrench, although he got over us on us one time. Let's review the Supreme Soviet's new rules. We did discuss some of this last night. I was exhausted. Been spending way too much time on YouTube. I wasn't going to come on YouTube today, Friday, the 21st of June. It is 4:34 p.m. according to my clock. Here's one of my fellow members of the Supreme Soviet, Mr. Muckster. He's got some other aliases out there, but yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll leave it that way. We're going to make this big. I like that. Try me and find out. My co-members of the Supreme Soviet, they're getting reputations. Ariel's kind of stays in the background. Killing Time's got the smooth voice. There's a competition out there. Who's got the smoother voice? Generally Specific or Killing Time? I'd like to see a smooth voice square off between those two sometime. Not today. All right, let's see what the other member of the Supreme Soviet has laid out there for you guys. And apparently for me too. That's okay. There was an audio issue.
Guess what?
Right now in the editor is a trim for the first minute or so that if you ever see it on your own, you don't waste a minute and a half listening to them lip sync to silence. The songs of silence. All right. Here we go.
I was muted that whole time, which you probably know, and luckily Claire came in and told me about it.
Damn you, Claire. Why'd you tell him? Could let him just ramble for the 8 minutes and he might never have known. Okay. Claire, you're forgiven. Wherever you are. I see I got Stephanie, Wingspan, Stanley, and okay, I got, there's 13 watching, but there's only a few of you participating. You lurkers. Damn you, lurkers. Okay. Fake Stanley got me. Phyllis, hey. All right. I'm going to see what else Muckster has to say besides having audio issues. Lucy, in the sky with diamonds.
Okay, so the first minute and a half of this was wasted, but let me hit it again.
Hit it.
One of the couple of quick channel notes.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I'm doing on my channel, on the Just Muckster side, any of the lives.
By the way, we regularly stream to the channel. Well, I guess you could be coming from my other channel. Old Sarge Finkel is one channel. Just Muckster is another channel. Sometimes we stream to the other twos. And sometimes when we have guests, we allow them to stream back to their own channel when it doesn't break. I think one time we hosted Izzy, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong, but she couldn't restream to her channel. But our intentions are, if you're watching, you can copy it. You can restream it. We have no proprietary information. Not even the Ariel custom-made stripes you see in the top right-hand corner. Thank you, Ariel, for that. My fellow Supreme Soviet member. Let's listen.
So I'm going back through them, and I'm trying to find anybody that visited us that day. Hey, when I was muted, I went through this perfectly fine.
So you say. Do we believe him? Well, we'll never know, will we?
But I'm putting names in the description, so it'll be easier to find. So if you're thinking,
Oh, I didn't notice the names in the description. I'll have to go back and look for the names. Who is he talking to? I just got an alert that my channel went live. I didn't know who he was talking to, but we'll see. Nomad. Was he talking to you, Nomad? I don't know.
what was that day?
He's already called out Claire, who unfortunately helped him realize that he was speaking on mute. Damn it, Claire. There will be recompense. There will be consequences.
That GS was over there on Finkel's panel. You look at the descriptions on mine, you might find it. Hello, Cliff.
Okay, Cliff was there. Was GS in the chat? I'm not sure. GS, abbreviation for generally specific. I've been a bad boy, and I've been calling people by names they prefer not to be called out by. We have a lot for generally specific. We think generally spastic, generally pathetic, toddler, Miles Murphy, that guy, fun size. I get it. We all have fun. I would like to start getting in the habit of calling Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And for all fairness, I should refer to generally specific as generally specific. I should refer to Michael Kaiser as Fraudit Wrangler. I know sometimes we know the real names. Sometimes we have cute nicknames. Sometimes we have mean nicknames. I'm not going to make a promise to never call Phyllis Peterson that whack job who comes by, but I'm going to make an effort to call Phyllis Peterson, unless Phyllis Peterson says, I'd rather you call me XYZ. By the way, you see I go by Old Sarge Finkel. Old Sarge Finkel is a nickname. I don't care what you call me. You can call me David. You can call me Finkel, Finkster, Finkelberry, Finkelstein. Hey, shithead. It doesn't matter. Because I'm putting it out there that it doesn't matter. As long as people realize you're talking about me. I think recently, jokingly or meanly, I don't know, I was called PDF file. Speaking of PDF file, speaking of unalive, speaking of National Socialists, I, without conferring with my fellow members of the Supreme Soviet, I don't know why people feel like they're a prisoner to the YouTube. Unalive is murder. If you mean murder or kill, I think you should say murder or kill. I will try to adopt these code words when I'm hosting someone who may be streaming to their channel, because for whatever reason they seem to fear the real word. Unalive is murder or kill. PDF file is pedophile or child molester. What are some other ones out there? National Socialist, Nazi. I'm not a prisoner to some YouTube monetization plan out there that says I can't say Nazi, murder, pedophile, but I get it. If you're a guest on my channel, you're restreaming, we will try, no promises other than try, to accommodate your fear of using the actual words. But I got to listen to what Muckster said, so I can be a good member of the Supreme Soviet and follow suit. LSD. Actually, Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds. Okay. Gotcha. I'm thinking of the drug LSD, which I can't remember the full name for it. Anyway.
I just put Cliff in the description of one. Now I could only do that on the ones that are on mine. I can't edit Sarge's, but if you're looking,
we're going to work on that. He alluded to me that as a YouTube content owner, this isn't really content, this is mostly commentary. I guess the content's in my videos tab, but on the live stream tab, I don't really call that content, but I get it. Everyone's calling it content. But as a good member of the Supreme Soviet, I'm going to figure out what Muckster was referring to. Somehow I can give him admin access to my account so that he can make edits. I would hope that he lets me know what edits he makes so that if I disagree on my channel, I can unedit the edit, and he's welcome to edit or not edit his channel however he wants to. Anybody new here? Ronnie? Oh, Ronnie Rebel. That's a new name to me. How you doing, Ronnie? All right. That's okay. Yeah, content. Okay, editing. Gotcha. Cross channel editing. We'll work on that.
Or something might make it easier for you to find it. And I don't know how far I'll go back. It's a little tedious. Hello, GMK. The other note I want to make, and this goes for any time I'm in the house, I can't hold the other guys to my rules.
Cool. I'm not a subject to the other Supreme Soviets. Good to know.
Although I will make them pay if they don't follow my rules. Just kidding.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking at this panel from now on as rated R. I mean, we're not like a bunch of prudes. I don't care, if someone swears a little bit. I swear myself, although I'm trying not to do it as much.
Fucking A, Cotton. Yeah, I agree. We're not a children's channel. We do like some children's channel. We've hosted a fellow named Brandon who does some great Looney Tunes stuff. His channel is Jeep. We try to keep him off open panels. Maybe someday we'll do a one-on-one panel, interview type thing, and we'll watch our language. But Brandon, if you're out there and you're watching, please don't join our open panels because fucking A, Cotton, we're going to fucking swear and your fucking audiences might not like that. And whatever agreements you have with YouTube, they might not fucking like it either. I overused the word F. Fracking. If you watch Battlestar Galactica, they replace fuck with frack. What the frack? No, if you're running a G-rated channel and you come for a one-on-one interview, let us know and we'll try and watch our language. If you come on an open panel, we have to give equal distribution. So if you're running a G-rated channel, we are going to be swearing a lot. So if we know that you're running a G-rated channel, we're probably not going to let you come up for an open panel. Diamond Draco, that's a new one on me. Danny, how you doing? Danny's another wrench. Lupe, I need to know when your Muckster's wedding is, Lupe. See the SV parody yet from Skippy. It's adorable. I haven't seen that yet, but we're going over some housekeeping here. And Muckster's laying down some law. And I just want to make sure I'm familiar with them. And if I disagree with them, I'll bring it up with them. And so far, I don't disagree with anything. We're at 1 minute and 55 seconds into it. The first minute or so is going to be cut out because he was talking to mute. And unfortunately, somebody let him know that he was talking to mute. Damn it. Okay. Continuing.
But if someone comes in, they can't control their mouth, and it's constant F this, F that, F, 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 M, F this, F, F. I'm just going to bounce you. If you can't control your mouth, we don't need you here. Our people don't want to hear it. Also, I think it's well established the N-word does not go here at all.
Concur. Don't like the N-word. And Nick space Gurr. That was cute. It was funny when you did it to Kaiser. Since I don't pay attention to details sometimes, please don't do it here. Anyway, I agree. But I think I'm going to opine that when I'm hosting, we're rated R. I'm going to swear as much as I want. My guests can swear as much as they want, unless we're doing a one-on-one interview with somebody who is restreaming and they don't want all that naughty language. But I agree with the N-word. That's a big one for me too. Yeah. So far, I agree. Subjective. What is out of hand? Anytime you have more than two people, even when you have two people on, we can get a little loud because of the lapse. We tend to overtalk each other. When we overtalk each other, we think we're interrupting each other. And when we're interrupting each other, it's human nature. We get louder and try to force our voice more. And it can very easily cross the line when we think it's too much. Who is up by Scranton? Scranton and Wilkes-Barre is about halfway between where I am now and where some of my family is in upstate New York. But I haven't been there in a while. But Ronnie Rebel, if I remember, next time I go up that way, I'll live stream something from that area. If you look through my videos, I got a couple banks in that area. I can't remember when, but it's down there. Anywho, let me continue with the new Soviet rules.
And I'm adding another word.
Another word.
For a long time, I kept hearing people say this thing about spurging out.
Oh,
Hey, Lucy, how you doing? Nice song, by the way, Lucy.
I wrote that. I wrote that for the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds. I'm kidding.
And I had no idea where that came from. And now I found out that it comes from people talking about Asperger's. So what you're doing, if you say that somebody's spurged out and you think you're insulting that person, you're insulting a whole fucking class of people. Because you're saying that this person is so terrible that he is just like someone with that condition. I ain't putting up with that here. All right? If you come.
Okay. If Muckster's hosting or co-hosting, until we discuss further, that abbreviation for Asperger's is a no-go at this station. I would like to discuss this further with him. We'll discuss that behind the scenes. I get it. It's a derogatory. I think another one used in the last month or so was a derogatory word for someone with tuberculosis. And it's very famous from a movie about Wyatt Earp. It's lunger. So just for the purpose of explaining what he's talking about, spurging, lunger, yes, they were designed to insult people with medical conditions, or I'm not really sure what Asperger's. I guess is that a medical or mental? I don't know, but I think in the Asperger's one, Tombstone. Thank you, Diamond. I think it was one of those words that people just heard somewhere and confused it for wigging out, raging out, or being addicted to watching someone they don't like. I'm not really sure. I don't feel strongly about that word, but when Muckster's on, we're going to go with that rule. And when he's not on, you can probably slip it by and he'll slap my wrist later, at least until Muckster and I have a chance to talk about it behind the scenes. I'm a softie, so he's probably going to win. Unless I can convince him that, people just don't know what they're saying and don't really mean it that way. But I guess you could say that about any slang, lunger, the N-word, but yep, he's particularly, okay. A member of the Supreme Soviet says no. Wingspan Angel opines that spurg or spurge could also mean defamation. I don't know. I have to do some further Googling. I did Google it once, S-P-E-R-G, no E, and I came up to the Asperger's reference. Maybe there's more to it than I know. There's Phyllis, there are words that get under anyone's. There are various words that would get under various people's skin. Another word is the see you next Tuesday. I don't know why people feel like they have to say it like that. If the actual word wigs you out, maybe say pussy or vagina. Quick funny story that I just remembered the other day. The ancient symbol for penis is two line segments connecting with an apex pointing up. And the ancient symbol for a vagina or a C-U-N-T or a pussy, a vessel, is two line segments with the apex pointing down. Penis, vagina, male member, female member. And I remember when I got into the Army as a prior service Navy fellow, they made fun of me because they said, this is a E2 in the Army. And as you go up in rank, you get more of these. So that means the higher rank you are in the enlisted pay grades, the more penises you have, or the biggest your penis is. And they reminded me that when I was a petty officer third class, it was like this. That was their intelligent way of calling me a big old pussy because I was coming from the Navy. I had actually forgotten that. Oh, yeah. Okay. The SPERG is a no-go at the station that is coming down from the Supreme Soviet, and we'll discuss it among ourselves. And for now, that's the rule. If it changes, we'll let you know. Wow, 20 minutes to explain something that took 8 minutes to. Okay, let's continue.
I'm going to use that word. I'm going to give you one warning,
Oh, warning. Okay.
and then you're gone. Hello,
At least you get a warning. Okay.
whoever's over there pretending to be Kaiser.
He means who's ever pretending to be fraud Wrangler. Actually, I don't care what other people call each other. That's my personal thing. Old Sarge Finkel, David Finkel, Finkelberry, Finkelbell, Finkelstein, I'm going to make a best effort to call Stephanie Jenks, Diamond Draco, and so on, unless they let me know they prefer to be called something else, or that they don't care that we call Fraud Wrangler murdering Mikey, or if Generally Specific says he doesn't mind being called Miles Murphy. I think I just screwed something up there, but you know what I mean. I'm going to make a best effort to call people by the names they prefer to be called. And if you're just joining, I don't really care what you call me. This is my personal rule for myself to use on others.
That's just it. I can't hang around right now. I got company coming in a couple of minutes. Just want to mention those couple of things. I'm putting guest list in my lives to make it easier for people to find. And I want people to try to talk a little more decently.
Very much so. We started this live. Actually, we started trying to do a critique of The West Wing, copyright strikes. Then we tried to have a music show, copyright strikes. And then we became familiar with an open panel. It was my first awareness of an open panel where anybody can come up and talk about anything. The People's Podcast. Over time, we decided it was a good idea to have a place where people can come and connect and communicate. But we found with that, there was too much. Sometimes you get 8 or 10 people yelling at each other and you can't hear anything. It's just, and after that, we found out that it's somewhat intentional. That can be entertaining at times. More recently, I've run into some other open panels. I want to do a shout out to a guy named Based Oracle. Sometimes they get a lot of hand, but he keeps a good level of maturity going on in there. And another lady called Raging Tomato, similar to Based Oracle. She tries to keep a good, decent level of maturity. They're both adult shows. You do hear the F word, but I'm very impressed with how they handle a live panel. I get it. There's other kinds of panels out there. One of my favorites is Fine Fix Finish Productions, formerly known as Stone Vet. They have various shows at various times with various formats. I was just one on yesterday where Izzy Imig is one of their peripherals. I think she's now a member, and she hosted me for a one-on-one interview that was meant to be just a panel with me and her. That's different than an open panel. And a lot of their shows are, for fun, digging on others. And a guy named Matt Stern retired. I think he's moving his show over to that channel. It's called Throat Punch Thursdays. He does a combined thing with one guest panelist, and they talk about that guest panelist's service. And then they go into, sometimes out of order, and then they go into someone who has stolen valor or embellished valor. All good shows. But what I'm talking about is open panel. When you have open panels, I'd like to get more like Raging Tomato and Based Oracle. I don't know if we'll ever get that quality, but the idea of having adults come up and mostly calmly talk about adult subjects. Sorry, Brandon, that would disclude you because adults do say naughty words. By the way, Brandy Looney Tunes, I can't remember, great place to watch. But if you want to discuss politics or religion or trash on other YouTubers, not a good environment for that. There's a place for everything. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. What else in Muckster? So far, I don't really disagree. If anything, I'd like to further discuss the Asperger's abbreviation. But until we do, that's a no-go.
Does that work for everybody? Anybody over here have questions?
I just that one question, and we'll discuss.
Like I said hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm not even going to say hello to Ariel. Screw him.
You disparaged a fellow member of the Supreme Soviet. There will be penalties. Okay.
If Ariel wanted to be said hello to, he could have been up here on the damn panel, even though I didn't tell him I was doing this. So if you missed whatever I said, just, roll back a little bit. But ignore the first minute and a half there where I sat here like an idiot because Claire didn't tell me I was on mute. Thanks a lot, Claire.
Wait a minute, you just told us she did. You're contradicting yourself. That's one of the things I like to go other up to channels for. Oh, that's right. We're hypocrites. That's okay. All right, we can be hypocritical. All right.
Let's see. Hey, generally specific. Is that really you?
Oh, was it here? General, you here? Generally specific. I'm sorry. Get in the habit, Finkel. Call people by what they present themselves until they say they'd like to be called something else. Okay, we have 18. Now, how many did Muckster have when he was on? Do you like me better or Muckster? We'll have a beauty contest or maybe a singing contest. Okay, let's not get into a spelling contest. So, got to keep it fair. I'm unarmed on spelling contests.
Like I said, rewind. You'll see what I was saying about. And GS, I'm going to tell you, in particular, you are welcome here. This is another thing I should mention. Hey, Stephanie, this is something we talked about when we first started doing this, and I want to make sure we're sticking to it. As long as people come in here.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. All right. Did you miss me? My grandson lives upstairs. By the way, he can read cursive. He just got out of third grade. Forgot where I was. Oh, he was talking to generally specific. Let me see what he says.
This is something we talked about when we first started doing this, and I want to make sure we're sticking to it. As long as people come in here and behave themselves and don't try to run the panel, they're well.
Behave, that's kind of subjective, objective. I get those two words confused. What is behave? Pretty much for the Supreme Soviet, we decided what's behaving. What we want to avoid is the kind of constant yelling or grandstanding. An example, I think his name is. He presents as some kind of snail. I've seen him on a couple different panels. He likes to dominate. I don't mean alpha dominate. I mean, he'll ask a question, and as the person's answering, he'll ask 2 or 3 more questions. And then as they're trying to keep up with the answers, he's just like, but what if? Well, what if it was this way? And it's just like, that's annoying. Or people come up and do like I'm doing, and just keep talking while there's other people on and don't give them a chance to talk. Or the constant interruptions. Now, I get it. There's a delay. So sometimes 2 people start talking at one time. To me, I feel like I started talking to the other person who's wherever else in the world they are. each person feels like they started talking first, so they each feel like the other one is interrupting. We got to be careful of that, and I'm trying very hard to say, oh, I'm sorry, you go ahead. That's what I'm trying to do. Each person's got to do it for themselves, but you can pretty much tell when they're trying to dominate and misbehave. I really like the way Raging Tomato does. Two people get up there and start yelling at each other. Some panels do cage match, where it's just everyone gets dropped down except for the two until they work it out. But Raging Tomato does it kind of a cute, funny way. She calls it a speed date. And it's not just male versus female. It could be, it has nothing to do with gender, but they do use speed date. And somehow that puts people in a different mindset, and it gets resolved a lot quicker. It's very funny. It's very cute. The first two I saw were male and female, so I thought it was some sort of dating show. But then I saw two males, two pretty much homophobic males who really, they would never date. But it was just a way for them to work it out without the speed cage. I'm sorry, cage match type format. It was more, let's try to be adults and work it out, or agree to disagree, whichever the case is. But misbehaving, kind of subjective, but I think we'll get it.
Welcome here, except for a few that I won't bother mentioning the names, but any of our
I'll mention their names. Vegas Phipps, not welcome here. Well, I guess he welcomes you here if you show your face on camera and all your sock puppets. Ronnie News Network, also not welcome here. Nema, if you're watching, I owe you an apology. There's no reason for me to attack you when you were sober. I just don't want you coming up here when you're stupid, silly, sloppy drunk. That's all I can think of for now. He's got a few others, but no, even people that I vehemently disagree with, you're welcome here, unless you misbehave. Even people I agree with, if they come here and misbehave, we tend to kick them down. Some people have like Muckster's kicked down and says, "Oh, Sarge won't overrule me," and he's right. We're fellow members of the Supreme Soviet. I will not overrule him, even if it's a guy I like, guy or gal I like. Anyway, let's continue. I'm taking 32 minutes to cover 8 minutes of his Supreme Soviet rules. Sorry, I digress.
regulars know them. If GS comes, hey Sammy, how you doing? If GS comes in to talk, we will give him a fair hearing.
And I think we have. Well, actually, okay. One time when I wasn't here, GS Generally Specific came on, and Just Muckster and him kind of went at it, and Just Muckster was kicking out, but that's how he fought at the time. I don't remember what was said or how it was said, but yeah. But since then, he has been here, and I think we had a cordial discussion, maybe a little tense, but yeah.
Now, and I won't mention the other person that everybody will know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If GS is here and the person who really, really hates him comes in,
oh, yes.
I'm not going to let that person, even though they're a friend of the channel, come in and take over and just start yelling at GS for no good reason.
Yes, we did talk about that, and I think we're all on board with that. If we have an open panel or a limited panel, and someone we like, love, or hate is on the panel, and someone from the opposite side is in the basement, we're not going to let the other person up unless it's a coordinated, we're going to meet here and work things out. If, for lack of a better example, for public safety, GS. I like for public safety. I don't like GS. Generally Specific, I did it again. I will allow Generally Specific up here. If he's up here and for public safety comes up in the basement, I'm not going to let for public safety up. It's not because I dislike for public safety. Another example is the Unforgiven Yuri. I like the Unforgiven Yuri. I like F3. If a member of the F3 is up here and Unforgiven Yuri comes in the basement, I'm not going to let it, and vice versa. It doesn't matter if it's friend or foe up here. If a known foe, a known angry foe is in the basement, we're not going to let them up until that person steps down, or there's a mutual agreement that they both can be on the stage at the same time. Hopefully, that policy, if we stick to it, will minimize some of the TPP style drama. Although we like a little drama, let's be honest. YouTube is YouTube. We do like some drama, and I've been a big part of some drama. So let's continue.
Just like I won't put up with it from GS or somebody else. Although I'll be totally honest, my trigger finger will be a lot quicker with somebody like GS if they're arguing with a friend of mine. But anyway, that's
okay. I'm going to do my best to keep it equal, friend or foe, and opposing foe of the friend or foe. I'm going to try to keep it as equal as possible. And when it's not going to be equal as possible for me, it's first come, first serve. If one person's up here, whether they're my friend or foe, if a known foe of them comes down, yeah, I think I'm over-explaining it. I'm mansplaining it, right, ladies? Hey, GMK. Hey, Joey. I'm mansplaining it. So I'm going to stop mansplaining. I think you get it. Yes, so far I agree with them on everything. I would like to further discuss the Asperger's abbreviation.
That's the stuff I wanted to say. Look at that. I've already wasted almost 7 minutes on this.
I got you beat. I've wasted 36 minutes. Mine's bigger than yours.
Guys, I think I hit the main points. Like I said, now the rules that I mentioned, that has to know when that goes while I'm in the house. If I'm not here, the other guys will be running things their way. But I mean, if I'm here, even if I'm backstage, don't be surprised if you get bounced if you break any of these rules I just mentioned.
This is something I haven't discussed with the fellow members of the Supreme Soviet. I hope that where this channel goes, or at least the StreamYard tool that we use for the other Finkel, Old Sarge Finkel, Just Muckster, Ariel, and Killing Time Passing Through. What I would like to do is occasionally, maybe more often than not, have one-on-one panels. If I'm going to have a one-on-one with, say, I'm going to use the example because I hope to do this soon, generally specific. I will arrange and coordinate a closed-loop communication if he agrees to do it. I'm going to do that. If it is intended to be a one-on-one, even though my fellow members of the Supreme Soviet may or may not be in the basement, I would ask for occasions like that to not pop up. We love him to death. We love him to death. Stone Vet, aka Fine Fix Finish F3. You know who we're talking about. Josh, great guy, great show, great network where he's setting up other shows. There were some I actually appreciated. I don't know if Izzy did or not, but I know it annoyed some other folks when Izzy was hosting me as a one-on-one thing. I believe Josh's intentions were to help. He did come up a lot. In some cases, he explained some things that maybe I just did not understand, i.e. the Iran-Iraq war and how things were. He's from the intelligence community. He's a lot more informed than I appreciated that. But there were times that people in the chat and people over here had opinions that they found that annoying. I want to try to avoid that. I know I got Muckster, I got Killing Time, and I got Ariel. If I have a one-on-one interview that's scheduled with somebody, and I'll do the same for you guys. In fact, I hope you guys do it too, whether you point to all the channels or just mine or your individual. Even though I have admin to this StreamYard account, unless you wanted someone to moderate, I would not want to keep popping up on you. But yeah, if it's intended to be a one-on-one interview or a one of us moderating two other people, I wouldn't want the others coming up, the other members of the Supreme Soviet. Yeah, go ahead and help the wrenches in the chat control the chat. But we'll further discuss that. Let's continue.
Okay, I saw Claire. I saw Lucy. Hello, Kelly. I saw Stephanie. I think
regulars.
I said hello to everybody. Thanks for stopping in. I just wanted to do this as a quick announcement. I hear my company out there making noise in the kitchen, so I'm going to cut this off, guys.
Yes, company that cooks for them. I'm pissed. I want people to cook for me.
I think, by the way, if anybody's interested, I'll probably be going live tonight around 7 or so, but until I know for sure,
It's 5:12.
I won't post one of those coming soon type things. I think I said hello, GMK, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll see you later. Thanks. Hello, XO.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, wait a minute. I screwed something up there. All right, let's remove that from the screen. Let's actually close that. It is 5:12 p.m. on the 21st of June, 2024. Yeah, so you've heard some of Muckster stuff. I agree with it mostly. That one thing I'd like to discuss for two things. The abbreviation for Asperger's, it's been used in various ways, and the idea if there's a one-on-one, having the other owners come up and interrupt, unless it's coordinated as such. You have the entire household living over your head. 3 people, my daughter, her husband, and my grandson. It should be easy to teach that grandson how to barbecue for you. You're a genius. SJ. Later. That's a good idea. Yeah, I hope to have. I like drama. We all like drama. Let's face it, 20 of you wouldn't be here. It'd be like 6 to 10 if it was just me and Muckster talking. Yeah, I need a shave. I'll bet more than half of you here hoping there's some kind of drama on this show. 41 minutes, no drama, just some ideas of where we think this channels or these channels are going. Again, the channels are Just Muckster, Old Sarge Finkel, The Other Finkel, Ariel, and Killing Time Passing Through. Usually we're just streaming to Just Muckster and Old Sarge Finkel, but I haven't shaved in a week. Okay, all right. I'm going to have to share some beard humor here. There it is. Oh, that one was, yeah, I like this one. Yeah. Okay. I don't want a beard like that. 42 minutes. I was going to open up, but the truth is I had no intention of coming on YouTube today. But my phone alerted me that, hey, Old Sarge Finkel's live. I'm like, I'm missing another one. Sorry, Muckster, I missed it. Yes, we will get together. Not tonight. Maybe sometime tomorrow. And maybe offline discuss the asparagus thing. But I don't know why so many people are afraid of the murder, kill, unalive, or pedophile or child molester PDF file. I don't get that. Yeah. Got some smoked shish kebab. Okay. I've been rambling for 43 minutes, 21 seconds. I'm not going to open up the panel. In fact, I'm going to end the stream in about 3, 2, 1.